XOXO, got the girl. Pose.
Audra at Home is filmed in front of a live Pitbull audience.
Good morrow and merry meet. My name is Audra and you are in for a treat. All right, so today's video, just in case I end up scrapping this video, I am wearing the Midas & Cole MUA Soft Serve palette. I'm gonna try to make a habit to tell you all that in case, because like sometimes I'll do these videos and I realize that I just was rambling a lot. Anyway, I end up finding out that like sometimes I don't like the video and then I forget to refilm. So just as an FYI, that's what I have on the eyes. That's why I look like a fucking goddess. You're welcome. All right, so today's video, what I wanted to talk about is there are times in every palette's life where it must be not necessarily put out to pasture, but I feel like these are palettes that I currently need to put into retirement for one reason or another.
You came here to put me in a home!
Now this is not a declutter. Thank you. No, no.
You're already in a home. Oh, how could you?
Not in this house, not today. This is more of a put it somewhere for a while. I should be moving since 3 months. So whenever I do that, if I never got, the ask to like grab this palette for one reason or another, then I will declutter it at that point in time. So to kick off this whole party, I am going to go ahead and start with the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries palette. Now y'all, this was a good time had by all. Sorry, the autofocus decided to like focus on shit over here. And I really enjoyed this. It was a very nice palette. I was at one point using it as a companion palette because it just, had the black and all of this, but I have literally not reached for this in so long. And I think it's because I have other palettes that have these kinds of shades. And also I do feel, oh, this black is so good though. Like I still have, like, listen, I love me a good black shadow. Anywho's it's though, I do like this, but I'm not ready to declutter it yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put it out for retirement. They're going to get a hefty 401k plan. That might crash. All right, so next up, this one, okay, listen. Do not come for me in the comments because you don't even know my reasons yet. You don't even know the reasons yet. The ABH Jackie Aina palette. Now this one is going into retirement for a very specific reason. One, I don't reach for it as much as I used to, but also I just want this to like live in a different spot. Like it's a special palette to me. It's one of the first palettes I bought and was like, oh my gosh, I can do makeup. I haven't taken this off yet. I kept it on for like ever, but like, let's move on. But I was like, oh, I can do makeup. And I was so proud and so excited. But here's what I'm gonna say. I just want this to be in like a special place so that I don't ever actually declutter it, because I don't ever want to declutter this palette because first of all, it's bomb. But most importantly, I don't want to declutter it. I feel like when it's sitting in my collection and I'm not using it, that triggers like a spot in my brain to be like, declutter it. So I'm trying not to do that with this. So I'm going to put it in a special drawer, and that is where, she will stay until the next time I decide to pull her out, because I do still really like the shades in here. It's just I have so many single shadows and I have such a good time with those. I don't pull this out as much as I want to, but gosh, look at this color story. Like, look how freaking pretty she really is. Like, come on. Come on. I rest my case, Your Honor. And for that reason, she is just going to be going to a very nice retirement home where there's lots of group activities.
Jasper, Gladys, Beatrice, looking good, Hetty.
This is another one of those things, like this is from Lime Crime. This is the Venus palette. And listen, before anybody starts in on the Doe Deer did blah, 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 I know. I bought this before I knew that Doe Deer did blah, 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 blah. Thank you. But I still love this palette. I don't reach for it as much as I used to, but I cannot bring myself to let it go because I felt so amazing when I bought this. Like, it was one of the first palettes from a brand that I had ever purchased. Like, because I did get something from like BH, but like this was like luxury for me. You know what I mean? Like this was like some luxury shit that I picked up, and I was feeling like a bad bitch because I was like, look at me, I have a Lime Crime palette. And then everybody told me what happened. I was like, thanks for ruining my day, assholes. But but it does hold a very like strong and soft spot in my heart for me. So I'm going to put this palette out to retirement, and you know, she's gonna enjoy hanging out with her grandchildren. She's gonna give them lots of sugar, and she's gonna send them home to their parents.
Yeah.
It's a crisis!
Yeah.
We're having a crisis!
All right,
Don't
okay.
you take my daddy out of the wall!
Okay, next up is the Goddess Alter Ego palette. This is one where I kept trying to find like a reason. I kept trying to like, every time I take it out, I just end up being like, nah. Like I just don't, like I don't get excited about this palette. And I love that it's green, it's a green palette, but there's something, I feel like there's just not enough green. Like I like Gaia, and then like the shimmers are nice, but I feel like the only like matte shade in here that I fucks with is Gaia, and I absolutely love Freya. Cause it's kind of like this, well, I used to, it seems kind of chalky now, but it's like this goldy green kind of like, yeah, like I love that. That's really fucking pretty. Like there's shades in here where I'm like, yes, but there's others where, so I'm going to put it out to retirement, because this is one where we need to determine if it's that time, you know? Is it time? We're going to have to find out.
This is incredible!
Not so incredible as what happened next.
Next up, I have the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. This is another one that I'm gonna go ahead and put out to pasture. Just kidding. I'm gonna send this one into retirement. I feel like I would love to play with this, and I always feel like I should enjoy playing with this, right? But like, I just don't, and I rarely pull it out, and when I do, I feel like I always, like, I don't know. I don't love the Natasha Denona formula. I feel like it's chalky. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like it's so chalky, and I don't love that. But like, maybe it's me. Maybe it's my lack of makeup skills. Maybe it's my lack of basic beige Betty. Like maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's the lack of a black shade. But anywho, I am just going to go ahead and put this one out for retirement for now. We will see come 3 months whether or not I end up decluttering this. We're gonna find out. I feel like it's a good thing to just kind of put it into retirement for a period of time. Natasha's gonna play a lot of Monopoly, because obviously that's what everybody's doing these days.
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
Y finalmente, the last palette I have in the great retirement party, for now, I'm probably gonna be doing this again, is the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments and Shadows. I know, it was like, Audra, I thought you loved this. I thought that this was your favorite thing. It twere my favorite thing. I have grown, I have changed. I'm sorry, but here's the thing. I feel like I have other colorful palettes. Right? And the thing about my other colorful palettes is that they also include shimmers. And I feel like this is a good beginner palette. And I say this like not in a funny like, oh, beginner, but this is a good way for you to start playing with color, because this is full mattes. And if you get like a palette like this, right, and you get all mattes, and then you pick up a few single shadows here and there from a few different brands, you know, you get into the groove. You start being like, oh, and then you don't necessarily need to have like a companion palette, because now you know what you like in color, you know what formulas. So now you're going and getting their palettes and their whatever it is that you're getting. But like currently, I just feel like I don't reach for this the way that I used to. And even some of the shades in here, when I think about a color, like I'm like, oh, I can, but then I have other palettes that have these. And I think that I may, you know, just go ahead and pull Bessie out to pasture for now. She's gonna go into the retirement home where she's gonna start hooking up with Edward. You know, it will be doing things. Thankfully, everybody has gotten their test, so there won't be any STIs running around this old folks home. Those are the palettes that I am currently putting out for retirement currently. I should have said just out to pasture, but all of these palettes are on retirement as of now, which means they will no longer be sitting directly in my line of sight. I'm going to be putting them away, and we'll be making some decisions on these at some later date and time. It could be 3 months from now, but like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. All right, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor and give it a big thumbs up, so then that way the algorithm goddess can continue pushing me further down into the algorithm so that I can continue to do whatever the fuck I want to. And as usual, huge shout out to my patrons and spooky bays, yeah. All right, thank y'all so much for everything that you do, because without you, I would not be able to keep the bats in the belfry and the spiders firmly ensconced in their webs. And for all of you who like, share, subscribe, and watch, I appreciate you as well. And as you know, it costs $0 to be kind. It's so good for your soul, because honestly, if you didn't see the color of my lips today and like the look, like I'm ready. I'm ready to snatch your soul. XOXO! Got a girl! Are in, oh, Jesus. Get off my lips, I hate this. Let's put on some gloss and then we can eat some pho. Yes, bitch. This is why I hate lip gloss. Like, I love it when I don't have hair. Pho. Fa la 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 la. Pho. I'm like, I love it when I don't have hair. When I have hair, it's like, bitch. Okay, here we go. There we go. Like, now I look like a human. Oh my God, you can see my shirt. I didn't even think about that. This is the gloss. I gotta stop.